closest that we have been to dying, to be quite honest. I'm up pretty early today because I'm going to go and explore the ruins. Ryan's still in bed, but he's really tired. He didn't really sleep last night, so I'm going to head over now while it's still a little bit cool, although it is, I don't know, maybe like 25 already. The archaeological site of Nora on the east coast of Sardinia can be dated back thousands of years. The presence of certain ceramic confirmed that there were non-local populations inhabiting the site in the 8th century BC. Most of the structures built during this time were destroyed or built over by the Romans when they took over this area in 238 BC. You can clearly see the Roman roads here around the outside of the site. The Romans occupied this place for hundreds of years, and the ruins visible today are mostly from this era. Nora is a natural harbour, very well protected from the wind and sea, and so it was an important place in the trade routes of the Mediterranean. Eventually, Nora lost its central role in these trade routes and slowly transformed, with the theatre used to store grains and the main roads covered by poorly assembled buildings. The port was adopted as a military garrison until eventually Nora was completely abandoned around the 8th century AD, 1,600 years after the first known occupier settled there. This is the biggest residential building in Nora and would have been lived in by an important figure or family at the time. The mosaic floors decorating the interior and the fact the building is so well preserved shows its build quality and suggests this figure or family was extremely wealthy. The house had many bedrooms and a central basin where rainwater flowed. The 4 columns are impeccably preserved and suggest the building originally had an upper floor. You can very clearly see the ruins of many buildings, most of which are typically Roman, like the theatre and Roman baths seen here. There was a dressing room with mosaic floor, a frigarium with marble floor, the thermal baths, as well as an open-air solarium used for sunbathing. The ruins can also be seen underwater around the site. There are 2 Roman roads which appear to reach the seashore line and then disappear. In actual fact, divers have found that the roads and some buildings are still visible underwater, although covered in lots of growth. It would seem that on the north point of the peninsula, at some point, the land has dropped along a geological fault by about 15 foot. On the other side of the peninsula, divers explored an area which dropped from 10 feet to 40 feet. Turns out that there was originally a quayside where ships once moored in the harbour. With everything that's underneath the water, this area would have actually been treble the size that it is now. We left the anchorage by Nora's ruins and set off for Cagliari. There are no anchorages near to the city, so in the end we anchored a few miles away, stayed for 2 nights and then set off for Olbia, which is slightly further north but has anchorages nearby, making that city much easier to access. It was on this journey that it all went wrong. I don't know whether you can see, but there's actually some kind of tornado just over there. hurricane. We had about 50 something knots of wind. Everything's pretty fucked. We're still not out of the woodwork yet. We're hoping that we're not gonna capsize. Without a doubt, this is horrific, absolutely horrific. We're going home after this. Trip done. Trip done. It's pretty much gone now. Now it's just rain. And what's the wind speed now?
17, 18.
17, 18. We had gusts up to
50 knots.
50 knots earlier. Absolutely hammering it down. We saw tornado. It literally did the thing where like the eye of the storm, and it went calm and then it went mental again. We then had we dropped our sails before this, which was good, but unfortunately because we didn't have time to tie them down, the main lifted up and the wind came from behind and got it, pulled it forward, and half raised it, so the boat was going absolutely mental. Thought we were going to capsize. Ryan told me to just lay down and hold on. We both put our life jackets on and clipped on, but we were wearing like summer stuff because the weather literally changed like instantly. Really, really, really scary. And now there's just sort of thunder and lightning. Don't think we've been hit.
Well,
oh my god,
one hit like 300-400 meters from us a minute ago.
Yeah.
The noise from it.
Oh, you could feel the heat.
Yeah.
Ryan had to go up on deck. So I took over on the wheel, and it was literally the scariest thing ever because he was just, I don't know whether you can see, that's our sail at the minute. He was just sort of clinging on. The waves were massive. So I thought Ryan was going to go overboard. Is that the autopilot?
Yeah, it keeps trying to take control of the boat for some reason.
Everything is just, that was my spot when I thought we were going to capsize. Just lay down and hold on. Grab bags in there, we've got everything all ready. We shut everything up and Poppy's just down there. This is the state of inside. Oh, it's not even funny. It isn't even funny. Pops, are you okay? Yeah, absolutely horrific. We are going into a marina. We need to phone our insurance.
Whoa!
So we are out of the storm. We're kind of following it along the coast. The wind's still gusting to about 20 knots at times, but that is absolutely fine compared to what it was. Unfortunately, all of our systems are now failing, so our charts are being really weird and keep sort of flashing on and off and changing the screens, so we can't really rely on that. Our autopilot is gone, that isn't working. The radio isn't really working.
Depth sounder.
The depth sounder isn't working. Our engine, we've got the engine on quite high revs, so we should be having a lot of power put into the batteries, and we have 0. Did I say 0.8?
Is it 0.6 going out?
0.6 going out of our batteries. So it's all going a little bit wrong. We've got a huge problem with the mainsail. Sailbag's broken. The light wind sail came out. That the sheet has come off. We don't know whether it's just come off or ripped off, but with the winds we had like 50 knots and we had our light wind suddenly unfurl, so I think that's all ripped, and that's the problems that we actually know about. So I think our trip is kind of done for this season, but we need to have a proper look when we get in somewhere. We're heading to Arbitrax, I think it's called, which is 10 miles away now. They've got a marina, so hopefully we can get in there, get on a pontoon, and then assess the damage and see what's actually happened. The thunderstorms are supposed to get worse tonight. They're supposed to get a little bit stronger, the wind. So we need to be in somewhere. We want to be in a marina. If all our electrics are failing, we already have sort of dodgy batteries, and now we don't actually have any sails. We literally don't have any sails because the jib, we've still got the jib in one piece, but the rubbers on the end are broken. So we can't even really use that, not to tack or jibe anyway.
You couldn't make this stuff up.
Yeah, it's all pretty rubbish, but we're going to be in there in a couple of hours. Obviously, like typical Sailing Chelsea style, Ryan's phone is completely broken because our dry bag leaked. So he doesn't have a phone. My phone keeps showing some, whenever I plug it in, shows some weird charging sign that has like a water drip on it. So we think there's water in mine. Every now and again it does charge, but when it's charged, it can be fully charged and last about 3 hours, would you say?
If you're not using it.
If I'm not using it, yeah. And it never really has signal. So we're a little bit down. We're actually not. Our spirits are pretty high.
I'm just happy we got through today. I don't even care that all this is broken, because I can go home, go to work, and we can fix it. But
we're alive.
Today we was close to not coming out of that, I think.
Oh, 100%. 100%. We were pretty close to the edge. That was the closest that we have been to dying, to be quite honest. We will keep you posted with what happened, but I don't think you're going to be seeing a lot of sailing from us for a while, because we literally can't.
Well, we don't really have a sailing boat anymore.
We don't have a sailing boat anymore.
We have a caravan that sits on water.
We have a floating caravan right now. Yeah, that just about has some electric. At the moment, we've basically got. When did electricity get introduced? Like 19.
We got a plastic cage.
Yeah, what year was electricity introduced?
1802 or something.
18.
Something like that.
So we've got a caravan from like the 1800s, early 1800s, 1700s maybe, that's floating at the minute. Oh no, sorry Charles, that's really hard. But
Chelsea's done us good. She's done us proud.
She saved our lives today, big time. Well, actually, no, you saved our lives today. You were pretty amazing.
I don't think I did. It was definitely
you're being
both of us
modest.
working together.
Yeah, well.
And to be honest, I reckon 50% of all of it was luck.
Yeah, we were lucky today. We were lucky
But
today.
we'll be lucky if our chart plotter helps us get in.
It may be that we survived the big storm and the tornado, but we beached what's it called? We wrecked the boat on a rock going into the marina. It's a real possibility. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. But yeah, so that's us. That's what's going on. Thanks for watching. We'll let you know a little bit more about what happened after the storm next week. If you like the videos, please click the subscribe button. It's just at the bottom of the screen somewhere here. And we'll see you next week. Bye.